Hey, what's up guys? It is MetaGamesGX here, and I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my recent top 4 deck list from the Millenium Games in Rochester, New York OTS Championship deck profile. I know everyone, top 4 OTS Championship. However, this OTS had almost 80 people at it, so it was essentially a regional that we were playing for top 4 invites. I did get my invite, thank God, so at least I have that, I guess. But also, I really wanted to win, and this deck list is amazing, so that's why I wanted to show it for you branded lovers. Plus, we haven't done a branded deck profile in a while, and I found that this deck was amazing. It worked through everything I needed to work through. So I think Branded is going to be a deck I continue with. I was on tier limit for a while, but I don't know. Just through this day, this deck worked through every board I needed to. It set up the best going first boards. A lot of game ones were 5 minutes long because I just win in that they just scoop. So it's a really good deck. It's an economical deck for that reason. I'll talk about my matchups and all of that. It's a 45 card list. Shout out. I will have I'll post a link to the feature match that Millenium Games did. Commentary by Crush Cards and Chandler. Shout out to them. I was on feature match for top 8 against Johnny Boo, very great player who I just played back to back on Black Wings. And I got my player review after winning that, so if you guys want to check that out, post that down below, but I will also re-upload that to my channel at some point. So, yeah, let's just get into it. Shout-outs, because shout-outs are necessary, actually, for once in the deck profile for me, because a lot of people helped with with just cooking last second. Shout out to my boy Yuri, who's always helping me play Despia. Ended up going to this 45 card build after talking to everyone else last night. Shout out to my boy Sam, who's always on the channel, of course. Shout out to Charlie, my boy Charlie. And then, alright, we'll get into the deck list. 3 Fallen of Albaz, of course, the boy. 3 Aluber. I think Aluber this is really standard, don't need to talk about it. The girls. 2 Cartesia, 1 Quem, and I guess we could just talk about this quick. I mean, really standard. I was very much in between 3 and 2 for a lot of this time, but these just ended up being fine. I never bricked on Cartesia too much, which was the goal. I didn't run Duality this time around. We are on Dragoon, but I just felt like Duality was a bit of a brick when you're only running these, at least in this meta. I don't know why, but yeah. So yeah, that's what we ran, and it worked out really well. Missed Cartesia once, the 3rd, but wasn't worth running more. And then just like the regular, just like cards, the Mercurier, the Desmian Tragedy, and the Albion the Shrouded Dragon. I was like testing like 60 card build with like multiple Shrouded Dragon, which was very good. I just wanted to play something where I'd see banger hands after banger hands, and that's kind of what I felt, or this deck ended up doing, because a lot of times I just draw like, you know, Thrust, Extender, Branded Fusion, which is all I needed to see at any point, or like, you know, substitute any of those plus Board Breaker, and like usually that's just like a way to game no matter what. So yeah, and these are really standard, obviously. Then the Bestials, 1 Magnamut, 1 Saranir, and then 1 Lubellion. So Magnamut didn't come up at all. I thought this would be okay to unbrick my hands. Saranir and Lubellion were just like goats as always. I remember at one point I was not playing these. I don't know why, but they're great. You play them, it gets you to Loss, which is your second best spell card besides Brand Fusion, and then Magnamut is there to. It's for I didn't play any tier limit, so this would have came up more in that matchup. Or I played 1 Unchained. Saranir helped there, so theoretically that could have been a Magnamut. I did Saranir their Yama, and that did blow them out. So these are very good, I think. So I think Magnamut's going to stay. It just allows you to play through stuff, gives you a tribute. Also searches a dragon to unbrick your hand, as I said, to search that Shrouded Dragon or like whatever, the Saranir. And then also when you like already go through Saranir, so you have a search for Lubellion if you top deck it, it's not bad, because Lubellion just being a bad top deck can lose you a game. And then 1 Dogmatic and Maximus. We are back on the Nadir Maximus package. I think this is just amazing. This card was the GOAT all day, honestly. I'm on Gravura now instead of Bucephalus. It's so much better because you just send Gravura, draw 1, and then still summon this and send your 2. It's just you're plussing infinite. I don't know why I was never on Garura to begin with because it just goes well with Super Poly, which we do run. And then one Dark Magician and one Maximus. So the Gimmick Puppet, obviously the go. A lot of the games I did win die roll, and this thing just was able to make my game was very trivialized, but the games that we didn't, it wasn't always Gimmick Puppet Turbo if I knew that they were going into if I games 2 and 3 when I knew they had Bestials and I didn't have an out for Bestials, I'd always play around that and just have a really broken board, which was very often able to be the case. And then one Dark Magician, I hard made Dragoon a lot. It was a great card, especially with Fusion Duplication, which you're allowed to just make it for free. So yeah, we'll go to the spells, 3 Branded Fusion, because yeah, it's why you run the deck. 3 Branded Opening, and 1 Lost, 1 Red, and 1 Retribution for the Branded Spells and Traps. I'm not running High Spirits, I just don't feel like running it. It could be something to add in the deck, I just didn't want to lose to Droll more. I mean, I guess it does play around Droll, but I also, it was really just the fact that sometimes it can be dead, so I don't like those moments. So I just wanted to play the most consistent possible build, and this is why I saw it. Same with Banishment. Banishment is good, I just wanted to play a build that was more consistent, and Banishment is really bad going second. So, and it's a thrust target, but I want to be thrusting out Duplication, if anything, so. Or obviously Branded Fusion. So that's why we do those. And then we run Thrust and Talents. Thrust at 3, 1 Talents. These cards were just so good today. Like, anytime I saw this card, I was just sitting pretty, basically. Going first or second, it's just the best card in the game. This is why I think Branded is one of the best decks right now. It's the best Thrust deck, besides, like, Unchained. And arguably, it's better than Unchained, because Unchained doesn't have the 1 card combo that Branded Fusion is. So, Thrust being able to take out Branded Fusion, it being able to take out the, Fusion Duplication is just nuts. And then speaking of Fusion Duplication, here's the one of Fusion Duplication, which was amazing today. I thought about running 2, I just hated seeing 2 whenever, so like, this is just such a good card. You can copy Super Poly, I did that once. It's so amazing because you can go Super Poly, and then they won't, especially hard setting this card is so good. Like, that's why like 2 could be warranted, because you can just like blow a game out of the water by fusion duping under a person's nose. And a lot of the time it still blows out people when you thrust it out, so it's just like one of the best cards in the whole deck. A lot of the time I just thrust for this anyways when my opponent had fucking cards on board. That's how good it was. Like, I didn't add a fucking normal add a card to my hand. I would just set dupe because I'm like, okay, this is why I need to win next turn if I didn't kill them. So, and then Talents, I used this like twice, and one of the times I ripped an Ash off of Dragon Link player. Shout out to Ashton. Watch the Dragon Link experience. Go might be a link down in the description. So yeah, cards were goated, and you don't run any less of them. I'm not running a bigger. Oh, I am actually running a bigger thrust package. I'm sorry. We are also running an evenly matched. I totally forgot about that. This was huge today, actually. I was like, I need a board breaker. Oh, and also, yeah, no, we... Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this back in, I think. Because what was I doing? Yeah. Okay, so... I have to cut that, but yeah, so then we also have for the rest of the thrust package, Herald of the Abyss and Evenly Matched. These 2 were my board breakers for the day, and they were great. Herald of the Abyss came up against Towers. It would have been there for Purrely. I thought it's fine. And then also, like, against Unchained, it wasn't bad. It's just a good card, in my opinion. It's just spot removal. And, yeah, it just gives you a guaranteed out through Thrust, and then it could be cut, but, like, I don't want to side a 1 of, so I'd rather just main it. I could cut it, though, because Dragoon really does give you the out for those cards, plus Titanic Lad, so yeah, this card could probably go now. It didn't feel like blowouty, to be honest, so yeah. And then Evenly Matched was amazing, because you need something for Rescue Ace going second. I was like, I don't want Feather Duster because Feather Duster isn't great against every deck, but you want to know it's good against every deck, evenly matched. That's what we did, and it won me my game against Rescue Ace where I lost die roll, and I saw evenly matched in hand and just blew him the fuck out. So, yeah, definitely would keep the evenly in. This was incredible. I don't know about the Herald because honestly, the more I haven't been playing Despia the last few months, so it's still like catching up on interactions on some level where like polishing off like my memory on interactions and yeah, I don't think Herald of the Abyss really is necessary in hindsight. Then 3 Nadir Servants. Nadir Servant was goated. I was very much in between running 2 or 3 up until I think like an hour before the tournament, but I decided to go 3. It worked out for that reason. It's just an amazing way to play through hand traps. Basically, whenever you see Nadir plus like Branded Fusion or Nadir or Thrust plus Branded Fusion, you're just golden, or like it's just more called by. It's just more, and it's also like even if like okay, you don't get Branded Fusion or you don't get Ash, great. I just like plus 1,000,000 off of Nadir because you send Garura and then Maximus and do stuff, and then you get to see what your opponent's on too, which is always good. This card's just great. I would not run this. It just makes your going first a lot more easy, a lot better. And then also like when you break a board and then just sub with Nadir, it's not bad whatsoever. That's why we don't run into this. And then 3 fusion deployments. Just obviously you need to run this card. It's amazing. I apparently could have used this in my feature match against Johnny to make a Mirror Jade, which would have been a better idea, but you know, that's something that comes up later or when you play the deck more. So yeah, just remember you can fusion duplicate and like this, Super Poly, Brand Fusion obviously, Incredible, and then the generic spells called by Gold Sark. And Foolish, these cards were just great. I don't think I saw called by once today. But like Foolish and Gold Sark were just great when they needed to get me there. And then 3 Super Polys. Wow, voice crack. I'm a 5-year-old. So we have 3 Super Polys. I was in between 2, even none at some point. I was maining Nib at some point. However, I think this is the best board breaker for the deck. You can go first, you can go second with this. I would be running for Ben Droplet elsewise, but I think this just like is much. It's just a way bigger blowout for the most part. Easier blowout, in my opinion. Easier blowout. You can pitch cards in hand, pitch your super or fucking Gimmick Puppet or Bricks or whatever. You can also fusion deployment this. You just clean up boards. You can. I won my 3rd game against Infernoble. I think it was Winter Kills. And I was running or whatever. I had a brick hand, but I had Super Poly plus like a deployment, so I was able to just like Super Poly him in the right time and then make him end on an SP, and then I just drew Branded Fusion and then just proceeded to break board. So, yeah, good card. Would not run it. Did I miss Guilty Gear Freed? Yeah, I mean, there was a time against, like, I would play against Fire Warrior and Infernoble, I'd say, if I didn't draw Super Poly in either of these going second situations, but if I had Super Poly plus, Guilty, that would have blown them out, so I could see myself siding Guilty Gear Freed over one of my other extra deck options that I'm siding currently. So yeah, we'll go into extra deck quickly. It's not really too important. 1 Mirror Jade because you don't need more than 2. You just loop it. I don't play the the one guy who loops it a 3rd time because it's like fine. It was fine not having Quertus or not Quertus. Whatever the fuck it's called, I can't think of it. Anyway, we're playing 2 Albion the Branded Dragon, 1 Lubellion, 1 Sanctifier, and 1 Rinbrum, and then 1 Titaniclad, 1 Lulu, and 1 Guignol for the Despia spells or fusion monsters, and then also the Synchro with Lulu. These guys are pretty standard. Obviously, you fuse with them, and then Mirror Jade is your win condition. When it's not Sanctifier, Sanctifier is your other win condition because it makes Mirror Jade, and then it also gimmick locks your opponent. It's also untargetable, and it's also just like a recurable, just a quick play, branded expulsion. So you need to play it, and then one Titanic Clad because it's just so fucking good. It makes Renbrum a super poly in your graveyard, and then also it gets over towers. I used it to get over multiple armed wings in my feature match. I think it goes up to 4K, and then not multiple, but I did use it to get over an armed wing, which helped. And it goes up to like 4K very, very easily, and then when I side nib, so it goes up to 4K extremely easily with that way. Which is a way to just swing for game very easily under nib as well. So yeah, it's very good. You also run, and then Renbrum was good. I never I made it hard once and I like misplayed and fucking lost because of it, but that was really because I had like the world's most awkward hand. And then one Guignol, I didn't miss the second one actually, thank God. This card's just amazing. It does everything in this deck. It also gives you Quertus, and then one Lulu, and then I guess one Quertus. Quertus was the GOAT. I wasn't running this in Ohio, but it was an option to always, it was a threat always with Guignol. So I would just like go Quertus and then just set up wall, and like I did a really cool play in my feature match where Johnny destroyed my Quertus, and then I when he went extra deck or something, I quemmed the Quertus they destroyed, brought back, and it was just like so much stuff for him to get through that ended up winning the game. Like Quem plus Quertus. Like Quertus is just so good, and you can loop it too. Just that fact is just crazy. Like that's a lot to get through for some decks. And then one Dragoon because this card's just so good. It wins you certain matchups, and it's also your way to get over Purrely and like towers. So you need to run it. You really do. It's very easily able to go 4,000 and pop a card that you win time because of damage. So yeah, it's really, really, really good. And then one Guardian Chimera. Also, apparently didn't use this the most, or I could have gamed someone apparently, but it's okay. This was okay. This was great. You run Chimera, and then Stapelia was really fine. I don't think I made it once, but like it was there. It's really good against certain decks, and you kind of need it in grind games. So I could see myself not cutting it. And then one Garura and one Mud Dragon because of Super Poly. I made these all day, every day. Super Poly was so good. Mainly made Mud Dragon, so I'm glad I added this back in because I was thinking about only doing Garura, but Mud Dragon's just fine. Yeah. So that's the extra deck. We'll go into side deck. We will do 3 Cosmic Cyclones. These were great. They were kind of low impact, but they were there. I wish this was Feather Duster plus 2 Lightning Storms. I'm gonna be honest. I probably could run that over these. But I think you need these for anti-spell because I saw a lot of anti-spell. I saw anti-spell getting side against me. They just didn't see it. So yeah, this was probably the correct play anyway. You just kind of need it. Maybe Twin Twister. I just don't think so. One Alba Lenatus. This thing was ass today, I'm not gonna lie. But I played only one Dragon Link, and that Dragon Link player knows I side in Alba Lenatus because I play him at locals. I played against like 5 team kills against 5 of my people who were going my locals. I play on a weekly basis, and it sucks, but like, so he already knew like what I was on, and this just didn't do much because he would just make a board of 1 dragon plus like SP, so like that didn't do much. But it was, I didn't play Millenium today. I would have been there for that. I saw a lot of Centurion. I saw a lot of Centurion. Did not expect to see as much Centurion as I did, but I did not play against any, but this would have been there for that. So that's why like it was ass, but like I probably have to keep it because it's just your safety button, and a lot of decks are just like making Calamity Dissipator and stuff like that. 3 Nibiru, this card was goated. I wish I could main this, but I just don't have the space to. But it's really good against the decks. It's really good against, and you side it in whenever you go first, basically, because it's an insurance gift. So yeah, I would keep that. 3 Crow. I don't think I sided this once. Like, I think that's my misplay though, because I went against PK. This could have been good there, but like, honestly though, like my thought process of not siding this against PK was like, I don't think this is going to stop any of their combos very much. So like, I just want to have board breakers and engine. Maybe that was wrong. I just don't know the PK matchup. So yeah. And then also I did play Tier, so I would have been there for that. I would have been there for obviously Despia and other stuff. 2 Lava Golem. This is new. Lava Golem's there to get over the Inferno boards and like Purrely boards. So I would probably put this to 3. It was good when I saw this, but I didn't see it enough because it was at 2. So definitely would put this at 3. 1 Pankratops, it did nothing today, but it was there just in case I needed it because it did get sided in a lot. And then 1 Necro World Banshee and 1 Zombie World. Shout out to my boy Yuri for putting me back on this because I was playing this in Tearlaments, but I like it better in this deck because it's very free in this deck. You just send it to make Lubellion, then you still make the Mirror Jade you were going to make anyway. And then you can just, against Unchained, against Dragon Link, against Flu, like, which are 3 very common matchups. This card just does it, does those decks in. It doesn't entirely, but they have to work on outing it, which is, you're making them play your game, which is a good thing. It's very little investment for high reward and easy access, so it's a very good card. I would not cut them. So yeah, that was my 45 card deck for top 4. Let's talk about my matchups quickly. Because I thought I played really well. I was really proud of it. It really sucks I didn't win, but I lost because of it's just a mistake, so it is what it is. And Brian from Crush Cards won the whole event, so congrats to him. Great player. He was on Purrely, and then Figs won against me in top 4. Great player. Again, too, check out both of their YouTube channels if you guys don't already. They make great content, obviously. You all know that. And so, yeah, I won round 1 versus Unchained. I won the die roll. It was a quick 2-0, but he was a super nice guy. I just had like all the I had Gimmick Puppet game 1, and then game 2 I just blew him out. I think I like set Albaz and then super polyed his DD King, and that was basically it. Then made Dragoon. And then I lost round 2, 1 die roll against Rescue Ace. This was against Gene Park, I believe is. No, I'm sorry. It was round 3 or round 2 against Rescue Ace. I misplayed game 2, and that cost me. I should have chained Mud Dragon to call Darks, and before he actually chained the card that targets. So I just, before I set up board, I might have won the game from there because I had more stuff to play, but that just kind of crippled my board at that point when he was able to dismantle it. And then we went game 3, and he just had Crow Ash, and he had Crow Ash and whatever. Had a third hand trap, so it was fine. He's a great player. He got second with Flu at the last Rochester Regional. I won round 3 versus Rescue Ace, lost the die roll, main deck evenly coming in clutch. That was my last minute addition myself. People were telling me not to play board breakers, and I was like, I'm playing board breakers, man. I'm not, like, they were great at Nats. Like, the deck needs a little extra board breaking potential sometimes. And then it just gave me a really easy going second against Rescue Ace for that reason, which I thought I would see a lot of, which I did. I mean, I saw 2, but... So then I won round 4 against Infernoble. It was against Winter Kills. Check out Winter Kills as well. Shout out to him. I won the die roll. I Gimmick Puppeted him. Quick 5-minute game, and then he sub board game 2. I just didn't see any non-engine, so I lost. I scooped. That's just how... This is format in a nutshell. See non-engine or die. And then game 3, I think, game 3 I bricked, but I still played through the board with Nib and Super Poly. I attacked for game after I broke board because he went Dolphin, paid 500, and then looked at my hand. He knew I had Nib, so he had to play under Nib, which was cool. And then I had Super Poly, which he didn't know, with a Fusion Dupe set. So I Super Poly'd his board away for a Garuro at the right time before he could start doing stuff. He didn't have a lot of cards in hand. And then I made him turn skip on an SP, knowing if he went further, he would have been Nadir, which was the point. So I played that 100% correctly. And then I just literally ripped Branded Fusion off the So yeah, that's what happened. I did 75 exactly on board. So that was game 4. Game 5, I won against D-Link. Shout out to Ashton from Locals, the D-Link god. That kid always just wins. Like, my record against him is like X8. He's such a good player. And I didn't want to go against D-Link. He knew I was on Alba, so it's like he would make his boards in a way not to get contacted. But in like game 1, I gimmick puppeted him. Game 2, I was lucky he didn't have Bastille because I think I had a weak gimmick puppet. And then game 2, he made a board. I cracked it, but then I misplayed on the lava golem, so I made his fucking seals float. Like, I lava golemed on the seals when I probably should have like worked on contacting off the seals first if I could have, but I don't think I had an end to Albaz, so I don't know if I could have exactly played that better. But then game 3, I just gimmick puppeted and it was fine. Or no, I think he outed it, and then like we just like went back and forth, and then I won. So that was a good game. Game 6 against Fire Warrior. Shout out to Kaz, another Locals legend. I won die roll. I literally wrote these die rolls are making my life so much easier. When do I go? So yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of a game. Don't really need to say much more than that. We won game 3, but it just came down to a misplay, and I still had engine, but like it wasn't even properly undid. So, but I still won. So is what it is. So then I won round 7 against Johnny Boo, who was on Black Wings. It went to like game 2 or it went game 3. Black Wings is notorious. Like I always lose against Johnny when he's on Black Wings. So he's someone I didn't want to play, and he was on first from Swiss up until I knocked him off round 7, and then we played exactly against each other in top 8 again, where I won. I just Dragoon just negating and popping. You'll have to watch the feature. It was very good there. And wow, I'm fucking throat's hurting from talking. We're gonna have to end this soon. Yeah, and then top 4 was against Figs, Locals legend. Check out his channel. There was a mistake. We missided, and it's basically how it went down. We could have went game 3 basically if this didn't happen, and I just feel like if I was going game 3, if I'm going into game 3 going first with my deck that has a 70% chance of just gimmick locking, so I got my invite already, which is nice. I'm back on Branded. He's still playing Tearlaments too, and Millenium, but like now that I got like time to just test instead of just rushing for an invite, but I definitely think I'm going to stick with, I don't want to like give everybody my plan, but like I think Despia, let's just put it this way. I think Despia is an amazing spot right now. Your only issue is Ash, and if you run the right non-engine, it's not an issue. So for the most part, I mean it is, you don't want to see it, but like it thrust and Nadir serving out your friends. So yep, that was the deck profile, top 4, 80-man OTS in Rochester, basically a freaking regional, got my invite, fumbled the bag at the end, could have probably took it all, I don't know if I would have won in finals against Brian. Purrely is my worst matchup, I'd say. That's why I wanted to play. I just wanted to see how it would play out, and very well deserved on him, and very well deserved on Figs winning his game against me. And getting second place, so well deserved to everyone else who I played. GG's to all. Shout out to the gracious opponents, especially. Like I know Gimmick Puppet is one of those things that people it could be salt inducing, but I think there are a lot of things in the game that basically are tell you not to play the game, and it's Branded's best going first option. So I always appreciate when players are able to at least respect and give respect to the strategy instead of just looking down on it. So, because you're going to lose to it, and that's what a lot of people did today. So, with that being said, See you guys later. Very happy with my performance, even if I didn't take it all. You know, I was very tilted, but we are honestly I'm feeling better about it. Like all my boys were there to hype me up, so it's fine. We will see you guys later. Like and subscribe. Check out my Twitter. Join the Discord. We do daily duels and deck profiles on top of streams every Monday and local streams every Wednesday. I'm going to try to get back into a good content grind because we got 2,000 subscribers. Thank you guys very much. So yeah, see you guys later. Have a good one. If you guys have any questions on this deck build, I can make another video. Combo guide, yeah. Fucking 30-minute video. Bye guys.